All right, this is Roger Martin, and I'm recording a statement and a video for Dale Calvert and his Thursday night learning. There's something about this guy that keeps attracting me because he keeps talking about some things that I did not understand. I'm also training with Dale D. Williams, and you have to have a system in place to train your people and make them money. But the system has to be proven and tested and clear and effective. And I believe Dale's system is, I believe Dave's system is. I'm stuck on both these D guys, but right now I'm paying Dave, to do his program. But emotionally, I'm stuck. And so I keep working with these two guys. But Dale Calvert talked about something. He said, you have to know these 5 or 6 things. He said, do you know why you're doing it? You better be specific. I need a car, and I want to travel, I want to buy a new home. But you have to have some specific things that you're going to create and achieve in a specific amount of time, a SMART goal. And they have to motivate you, and that why has to be deep and personal. You're going to have to write those down, and you're going to have a new mindset and skill set. And you're going to have a team building mindset and system. And he said also you'll need to learn sequentially. One step, next step, sequentially. So sequentially, step by step, and not skipping anything and making sure you've got that step before you go on. I'm starting to get to understand that. And so the question is, how do you learn? Who do you learn from? How do you develop leaders? And do you have a 5-year plan to get this done and to make it happen? And he talks about, and I can't get back to this other statement, but he says repetition is the mother of learning. We've heard it in the father of action, which makes it an architect of accomplishment. But he also talks about getting rid of the lies that are in MLM and getting into a real training system that works. Now, he made his money on building team leaders and making a system that worked and making 5, 6, and 7, and 8-figure individuals in that system. Now, that says something. He talks about learning new mindset and new skill sets. You hear that again and again. But what are these new mindset and skill sets? He says there's only 5 core systems. And he says we're trying to extract too much from too many people. And I know that is true. Now Dale talks about going to learn from a broker. And this broker says the most important question to ask him is, how many people do you train to become a broker? And he gets that list, and then he goes to those people and say, how many people have you trained from? And then they go to some of those people and say, how many people have you trained from? What he's trying to get is a person that has a system that trains people, and they train people, and they train people. And they use that system to do it. And learn from a person that has a system to build leaders, build teams, and goes down with that system and not just quits on the first or second level. Again, he talks about team building has more to do with leadership building and team building than it does with sales. Now, that's an interesting statement. Here he says these are the 5 steps, core steps. Launch new people, customer acquisition, retail to recruit. It's an interesting statement. 2-step recruiting process, play 1, play 2. Interesting too. Retention system. That is more important and interesting to me than anything else. And then he says there's a constant lead generation technology, which is always evolving. Interesting. Dale says something that's kind of interesting but funny, but probably very true. He said, ignorance on fire is better than intellectuals on ice. You may know everything, but if you're not doing anything, you're dead in the water. But you can be ignorant and on fire and accomplish more than you can if you have all the knowledge in the world and aren't doing a damn thing. Interesting. He quotes from Zig Ziglar, and he says that most people spend more time planning one vacation than they do planning their whole life. And he's probably right. Now, here Dale talks about getting into flow and rhythm and getting into the habit of being in flow. And one of the most important things he said here is, if you don't care about what other people think, you know that your confidence is in yourself and your product and in your team building and your leadership building. You just know that you're going to go to the next individual. We've got to go. It's a numbers game. You're going to go through enough people, and you're going to find the right people that are ready to work with you, that love what you're doing, love what you're teaching them, love your product, and love them for why you're doing it. And so this is powerful stuff. And you get into that habit, that mindset, and you start attracting other people, and you start building other people and teaching other people so they can do the same. And here Dale's talking about setting your mind and taking action. He talked about earlier about a person that's totally ignorant but on fire and taking action is more valuable than a person that knows everything and does nothing. Think about that. He's talking about getting into a right mindset and acting on that mindset and doing it now. So again, you're building this confidence and this mindset. You're teaching others to do the same. Now he said something else. He says the right mindset and the right action creates courage, and it creates a pattern of leadership success in doing it. But inactivity creates fear, and it stops you. So it's a matter of setting your mind and then acting and getting into that posture and habit all the time.